My husband's mother scoffed. "You'll never measure up to Anna, your husband's former flame." I rose and declared, "Then let her cover every bill." Have you ever had a moment where your entire world, built on love and trust, just shattered into a million pieces? I did, and it all happened over a slice of birthday cake. My mother-in-law, Barbara, always found a way to cut me down, comparing me to my husband's ex, Anna. But the day she told me I'd never be good enough, that I didn't understand what Dennis needed, that's the day I snapped. And when I finally told her I was done funding her lifestyle, her confusion was so utterly genuine, it made my blood run cold. "What money?" she asked. That's when I knew deep down something was horribly, horrifically wrong. But to really understand that moment, I have to take you back, way back, 18 months to be exact. Back to a time when I still believed in the fairy tale, that marrying into a difficult family meant they'd eventually accept me. My mornings at Hartford Financials always started at 7 sharp. I was usually there before the security guard even finished his first coffee, riding the elevator up to the 14th floor, to my corner office. That view, it was everything I'd worked for. Glass towers catching the sunrise, the whole city waking up beneath me. I spent my days analyzing portfolios worth more than most people would see in 10 lifetimes, tracking derivatives, catching discrepancies that literally saved our clients millions. Sarah, my assistant, would bring me green tea in the Tiffany mug Dennis bought me for our anniversary. "The Henderson account has some interesting movement," she'd say, and I'd dive into spreadsheets that told stories of money flowing through channels it shouldn't. I could spot financial fraud from 1,000 yards away in someone else's life. The irony still burns. Dennis would text me around 10, usually something sweet about lunch or a reminder about dinner with his parents. He worked as a freelance consultant, business strategies, workflow optimization, the kind of vague descriptions that sounded impressive but generated wildly unpredictable income. Some months he'd land a big client and we'd celebrate at some expensive restaurant. Other months I'd quietly cover our mortgage, his car payment, and our credit cards without ever mentioning it. We'd been married 3 years, together for 5. He was charming, in that way that made you feel like the only person in the room. He had dark eyes that crinkled when he laughed, hands that always found mine in crowds. I loved how he'd dance with me in our kitchen while dinner cooked, how he'd leave little notes in my lunch bag. He made me feel chosen. Every Saturday, we'd make the 40-minute drive to Queens to visit his parents. It started with us holding hands, listening to whatever podcast he was obsessed with that week. But the moment we pulled into their building's parking lot, something would shift. His hand would slip from mine. His shoulders would tense. And by the time we climbed the 3 flights to their rent-controlled apartment, he'd transformed into full-story video added in below.